Okay, so I make a lot of jokes in my videos to keep them interesting to watch and whatnot, and you know, sometimes I might even reuse a joke between multiple videos. You know, this isn't stand-up comedy. I'm over here talking pixels, I get a pass. But one of my favorite jokes to say in these videos is any joke regarding the adult games section of Steam that you see whenever you sort by new on the latest games added to the platform. And it doesn't matter what time of the year it is, whenever you sort by new, you're gonna see at least some sort of fornication fun time simulator on that list. It's basically the unsung glue that holds the entire platform together. Now, me personally, I don't feel any special way towards these games or towards anyone that plays them. You know, at the end of the day, we're all just squirrels trying to find a nut on this big space rock, so you do you. And I've never played any of these games before, but something about them just interests me. Is that weird? Obviously, we all know what you're gonna get if you decide to buy any of these games, you know, just some meaningless gameplay that leads to the real action, you know what I'm talking about, yeah, you know, the real action, man, yeah. I hate my life. But when you set aside the insane gameplay that you get from these titles, it really just makes you think. Who are the people making these games, and why are they making so many of them nowadays? The only thing more interesting than a weird or, you know, bad game is the people behind it. So I finally did something that I've wanted to do for a while now, and I've researched the people behind these adult games so that I can give you all a brief explanation on why these people create these games and what they hope to achieve while doing so. So, you know, hopefully by the end of the video, the next time that you see some hentai on the Steam store page, you'll have a better understanding as to why it's there. So to start, you know, let's push Captain Obvious down the stair set. You know, these games wouldn't exist like this if there weren't people out there willing to pay and play to commit their lustful sins. Some people act solely using their second head, and again, I don't judge. You know, we all do weird shit when we're by ourselves and on the last day of No Nut November, but this situation is comparable to people buying OnlyFans, you know, just something that people use to indulge in privately. Even though why you pay money for something you can find for free. So yeah, there's a big market for these types of games, you know, believe it or not, and that point connects us to one of the main reasons for developers of these games to take the time to create them, and that's because, you know, it is just easy money. Most of these adult games are just 2D text games or simple 3D renders that can be easily made in software like Unity by an amateur developer, so it's an easy way for them to get a quick buck by taking advantage of the thirsty people on the internet. Also like OnlyFans. Not to mention, we've got things like AI now and all of its wonders, so if you really know what you're doing, you can make a quick money glitch with these adult games. You've probably noticed that most of the adult titles are usually under $20, which may not seem really profitable at first glance, but you know, the more accessible it is for people to buy, the more sales that they get, which eventually adds up. Plus, I doubt anyone is paying more than that on a virtual sex fantasy, but then again, the fact that people are paying money in general shows me that I don't know anything. But why else are there developers out there making these games? You know, as much as it is a money glitch to just release one, it still takes a considerable amount of effort to pour time into a game like Flipwitch. Don't ask how I know about that. So why go through all the trouble when you could just, you know, do something else? Well, as you would probably expect, there's developers out there who are actually passionate about their adult games and take pride in creating them, like how, you know, Rule 34 and Patreon artists can create their sexual artwork, you know, because at the end of the day, it's all a special kind of art interpretation to see that you can only find in this corner of the internet. What was the last art exhibit you've been to that shows somebody getting plowed in the middle of the space-time continuum? Exactly. Seriously though, some creators see this type of game genre as more of a piece of art that they can use to express themselves with, rather than something that you should just play with lotion and tissue on standby. And I doubt that these people are, you know, just oblivious to what most people are doing with the games, but, you know, I guess that's just the risk you gotta take with putting naked characters on the screen. Now, another reason for these adult games that I found that was kind of more rare to see, some games actually mask themselves as ordinary adult games for attraction, but actually have good gameplay. Most of these titles usually revolve around like story games that include some lewd scenes in between all the normal stuff, so it kind of blends the line between traditional adult game and a well-designed game, giving the player the best of both worlds. For example, the Neko Power series is a franchise beloved by many gamers for its storyline and gameplay, but you're gonna see a good anime titty or two at some point in the playthrough, you just can't escape it. It's games like these that can be satisfying to play, whether you're looking for an innocent good time or if you're just trying to be devious. And I think that developers aren't stupid, they know people enjoy seeing stuff like that, so in my opinion, these games that have nudity and adult gameplay features is just another trick to capture more players into playing their games, even if the adult themes isn't their main offering. So that's pretty much the story of most adult games out there on the internet. Again, I don't judge anyone that plays any of these games because I might end up playing one in the future, just for the fuck of it. So if this is your bop, keep going crazy. But we'll just have to wait and see what the future of adult games will look like going forward. So, what do you guys think about these adult games, man? Feel free to comment down below. As always, if you like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you on the next one.